What's the hardest thing or moment that you had to experience as a coach?
The reason that we chose the Underdogs name, honestly, it was a couple reasons. The first one was because of Carrie. It really entailed what I felt was Carrie's character, but also kind of like her identity in CrossFit. Like, to me, she was the ultimate underdog. She was someone that no one ever talked about, but she was somebody who was constantly fighting, and I think her competitors would always say that that's as gritty a competitor as you could find, but I'm not sure she ever got her due until maybe the very end. And it was actually something I discussed with Cooper. It's been maybe a couple of years ago now. Was that name of Underdogs? Just the thought of somebody training in their garage gym, and it's dark and it's hot and you're sweating. There's no AC and you're just putting in the work. Maybe you're not getting the accolades, or maybe you don't have all the talent, but you'll just bust your ass more than anybody else to be able to reach your potential and to reach the goals that you want. So I loved the fight of the name, and I like what it stands for, and I think it encompasses what we are and what we do every day.
Last year, CrossFit did the little segment on it when I was judging everyone with him on his back. But if this keeps up, I'm going to be pretty yoked by the time he's 18 if I have to keep carrying him on my back to judge everyone. But he is safer there than anywhere else. I'm afraid of a dumbbell or barbell or
I think everybody would agree that the person who truly convinces others to move to Vegas is you.
We decided we were going to make the move from New York. It was a very challenging time. The affiliate that we owned,
Yeah, I think so.
My wife and I met with Carrie and told her we were thinking here, and she was like, "Okay, let's do it." And we got out here, and we weren't sure exactly what we were doing. And to make a long story short, I'd always thought about the possibility of starting a program, but in the back of my head, it was like, God, there's so many things out there. I just don't know that it's going to work. And it's funny, is like between discussions with people and discussions with Kiefer.
Kiefer is like the perfect amount of hot sauce salt that we all need sprinkled into our daily lives. Kiefer, he's just always like the voice of reason, and he honestly kind of like, how like Justin always says with his athletes, like you can't get too high and you can't get too low on like a competition weekend. You just gotta kind of keep focused. I feel like on the business side, that's Kiefer. He keeps us all from getting too high and too low. And if things are getting stressful or whatever, he cracks his delicious, salty jokes. And if things start getting too high, he reminds us that, we gotta be knocked down a peg or two. So I feel like he's really such a great balance, like for us more on the back end of things, just to kind of keep that going nice and steady and strong.
So I met Justin through one of his athletes, Tola. When Tola was thinking about making the move out here, I told him I would come out and visit with him. And first time we came out, it was just kind of like feeling things out, worked out with him a little bit, got to meet Justin and Ashley. The second time I came out, Justin and I had a chance to sit down and talk more about like what his vision was and what he was trying to do with the business, just because I was curious. And from there, we developed a really good friendship. And when he was ultimately ready to turn Underdogs into what it's becoming today, he asked if I was on board for jumping on.
Let me guess, 243? 248? 248? Holy shit! Woo! Is that a PR? By how much? Like 5? I didn't know those barbells were 50. Well, they were
we were both heavily in the fitness community, you know, long before we got married. And we kind of grew into it. Our marriage grew out of it. Our children grew out of it. So we've been around for a really long time, and we spend an unbelievable amount of time together. But we kind of have since the beginning of our relationship. You know, we built a gym from the ground up by ourselves, and you know, that's just unbelievable amount of time because you're at the gym 24/7. You know, teaching all the foundations class, training a lot of the classes, doing all that kind of stuff. So really like building all of that up. So it takes a lot of work to build a business together, as well as a relationship. But the good thing with us is that I've always felt like we've always been a really good team. We've always kind of been able to take a step back, figure out what holes need to be plugged and where. And then we also complement each other well in the fact that, you know, Justin is more of like the dreamer and the big lofty goals. And I'm kind of more of the, okay, let's step back, let's financially look where we're at, let's make these, you know, steps before we get these 12 new pieces of equipment. You know, let's get the gym membership to here before we go there. So I've always kind of been more of like the practical, let's make an organized plan to get somewhere, and he's always kind of been the big dreamer. So it works well in both capacities. We're both super social. And so I think like over the years, with all of the different challenges of, you know, new fitness fads and things like that, that I'm really proud of the fact that we've always been able to kind of pivot and two-step around whatever challenge has been thrown at us and to kind of come out of it successfully. And I also think, really and truly, I'm the most proud lately, of course, with COVID and this whole crazy year. You know, like Justin and I thrive on being in front of people.
Way that when an athlete or a person makes the decision to get involved with us, I look at that like there's ultimate trust there. Like you're putting your livelihood, your career, like you're putting that in our hands, and that's not something that I take lightly. It's not something that we take lightly as a family or as a company. And there's just this immediate bond, like immediate bond in there that I can't help but feel, you know. And I think that's what it is. It's that I think like we just, you know, we love, you know, the people that are involved with us and the athletes and you know, and management and anybody who's involved. Just like I said, it just becomes an extension. And I don't know any other way, you know. And I think sometimes like it's maybe they get emotional or sometimes that's too involved, but I think it's genuine and I think it's real, and I think that's what people attract. And then Danielle coming, and you know, Bethany coming, and Tola coming, Maddie coming, Nicholas coming. It was just, you know, it was just kind of these building blocks that happened. And it's been an amazing journey. And I think at the beginning it was exciting. It's still exciting, and it's been a lot of hard work, but that work I think has been worth it, and it's also paying off because I think we're now in a position to be able to help people reach their maximum potential, which is, you know, what we've set out to do, and you know, feel strongly about it. And I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish in a very short period of time. I think people can look forward to us, you know, really bringing it at every stage of the games as athletes. I think they can look forward to really thoughtful and engaging and you know, impressive programming. I think that, you know, they're going to be able to attack a lot of the weaknesses and get better, you know, if the program follow. And I also think that they can look to us as a positive light in this space, you know, as you know, ideally as always a brand that's gonna do things the right way, that's gonna help people, and you know, and I think that's something that we've always set out to do, and I think that they can expect that from us this year. I'm gonna be there for it too. So I can't wait.